What if BMW launched the first X5 series in 1976? The following is an alternative history, so get yourself an alternative tea and settle in. In the automotive world of the mid-1970s, where boxy sedans and sports cars dominated the landscape, one German automaker dared to break the mold. BMW, known for its sporty and agile cars, set a precedent for the luxury SUV market that would prove immensely successful. It all began in the hushed halls of BMW's Munich headquarters, where a group of visionaries risked a new product development based on the idea of an engineer's wife. Lucas Keller lived over an hour's drive away from the BMW facility in Munich. His family home was based in a remote village with limited roading access, and in poor weather he found himself unable to make the journey into work. As a proud owner of BMW New Class, Keller couldn't bring himself to part with it in lieu of something more practical. After saying as much to his wife, she asked if he could not simply raise the vehicle up high like the military-based vehicles popularized by the war. Keller scoffed at the thought. However, it did lead him to a vision, not of modifying his pride and joy, but of creating a new vehicle entirely. One that could cater to those who craved the opulence and power of a BMW, yet desired the practical capability of a family-sized off-road vehicle. He knew the idea would be discarded without something tangible to excite the team. So he took to his pad and pen to sketch the concept. Keller borrowed styling cues from the upcoming E21-3 series, the first of its kind and successor to the New Class. From the circular headlights to a neatly squared-off rear end, Keller adjusted the proportions and catered for ground clearance before it was considered fit for purpose. Sketch in hand, he presented to the team. This bold idea was originally met with heavy skepticism, as the concept of a luxury European SUV was unheard of at the time. The public perception of such vehicles considered them to be rugged and working class in nature, not something widely desired. Additionally, BMW worried that such a vehicle would diminish their brand reputation, which was renowned for sports sedans. However, senior management considered their position. Mercedes-Benz had recently released their S-Class series, which posed a major threat to BMW's market share. Other manufacturers were starting to become more competitive, and the pressure was on to innovate. After months of market research, including an in-depth look at the success of Jeep's Wagoneer released in the US several years earlier, BMW decided to move ahead, but only if the new SUV could live by the tenets that BMW were known for. BMW's engineers understood the importance of marrying luxury with performance, so they turned to a tried-and-true power plant from their existing lineup. The heart of the BMW SUV was the iconic M30 inline-six engine, a robust and reliable choice which pushed just over 200 horsepower in its most recent form. To adapt this engine for the SUV, BMW engineers optimized it for torque delivery at lower RPMs, ensuring ample power for off-road excursions while maintaining the trademark BMW driving dynamics and silky smooth six-cylinder feel. This engine, coupled with a 4-speed manual or 3-speed automatic transmission, provided the SUV with a solid foundation. However, there was one critical element which required new innovation: a 4-wheel drive system which could live up to the expectations of an off-road capable vehicle. Surprisingly, it was here where BMW spent the most time and resources in the development, for they had never produced a 4-wheel drive. After reverse engineering the system used by Jeep, they had a working prototype in hand. The system, which they had codenamed X to represent 4 wheels, included a differential with a cone-type slip-limiting clutch to distribute torque between the front and rear output shafts and a vacuum switch-operated differential lock. The next real challenge lay in the design. BMW's design team worked tirelessly to create an SUV that embodied the brand's elegance and sophistication while portraying a sense of capability. Staying true to Keller's sketchwork, the exterior featured bold, angular lines, a distinctive twin-kidney grille, and round headlights that paid homage to BMW's heritage. It was a head-turner in the streets and a formidable presence on the trails. Inside, the X5 embraced the notion of luxury. Plush leather seats, genuine wood trim, and advanced features such as air conditioning and a high-quality stereo system made it a haven of comfort. The opulent interior was critical to get right, dispelling the myth that 4x4s were rugged utility vehicles. In 1976, when the BMW X5 was unveiled, it was met with mixed reactions. BMW anticipated this, so they asked journalists to hold on to the vehicle for 2 weeks as part of their review cycles. After the first impressions were questioning its place in a world dominated by sedans and coupes, the second round of X5 reviews sung a different tune. Critics claimed that the vehicle clicked with them once they started using it for daily errands. It wasn't an off-road vehicle. It was a road-going statement that happened to have off-road capability. Sales of the X5 were modest at first, but as popularity spread among growing families looking to stand out on the road, demand began to surge. The X5 quickly gained a cult following, and within 3 years it had become a genuine contender to the standard sports sedan for many buyers. Over the years, the BMW X5 continued to evolve and refine its formula. It introduced new technologies, more powerful engines, and a range of trims to cater to diverse tastes. It paved the way for an entire segment of luxury SUVs, with other automakers following in BMW's footsteps. Looking back, the BMW X5 of 1976 remains a symbol of BMW's daring spirit and innovative prowess. It not only defied convention but also set the stage for a revolution in the automotive industry. Today, luxury SUVs are ubiquitous, but it was the BMW X5 that blazed the trail and forever changed the way we think about combining luxury and adventure on 4 wheels. What do you think would have happened if BMW released the first X5 back in 1976? Let us know in the comments below, and please consider subscribing or following if you'd like to see more. Cheerio.